Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going deep into something I think a lot of professionals think about, and that's business English. You've all sent us some really great material from Business English Essentials. We've got the textbook, we've got the study guide, quizzes, the whole nine yards. But who wants to go through all that? We're going to extract the good stuff for you.
Yes. Our mission here is to go beyond that generic advice and give you some insight that can actually elevate your communication at work.
Yeah. I'm interested in this point that the book makes about business English fluency and career advancement. I mean, is it really a game changer?
It really can be. The book uses this fascinating term, lingua franca. It basically means English has become this common language for global business. Think about it as this universal translator for, deal making and collaboration.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, doesn't everyone in business already know English to some degree?
Well, yeah, to some degree. But the book is saying that it's true fluency, not just basic grammar and vocabulary that really sets people apart. Think about it. If you have two candidates and they have similar skills, but one can articulate their ideas clearly and confidently in any situation, who do you think is going to get the edge?
That's a good point. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like the difference between knowing how to cook and being a chef, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about taking your communication from functional to masterful. And the book makes this compelling case that this mastery can really open doors to promotions, international assignments, the whole nine yards.
You've convinced me. So where do we even begin with this whole mastering business English thing?
Well, the book kind of breaks it down into three core components: specialized vocabulary, effective writing, and then those verbal and presentation skills. Each one is crucial, and they all work together.
Okay, all right. Let's start with vocabulary then. I've definitely encountered some jargon, in my work that's left me feeling a little lost. The book mentions EBITDA. What even is that?
Ah, yes, the classic business acronym. EBITDA stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. It's a way to measure a company's profitability.
See, I wouldn't have known that. So how do we avoid these kinds of, jargon pitfalls? Does the book just say memorize the dictionary or something?
Not quite. It emphasizes active learning. So, like using industry-specific sources, for example, if you're in finance, the Financial Times would be a very valuable resource.
Mm.
Not only will you encounter these relevant terms naturally, but you'll also start to pick up those nuances of how financial professionals actually use the language.
So it's not just about knowing the definitions, it's about understanding the context too.
Precisely. And the book suggests keeping a vocabulary journal where you not only jot down the definitions, but also example sentences from the publications that you're reading. That way, you're learning how words are used in like real life business scenarios.
That's a great tip. I'm more of a visual learner, so I might like create mind maps to connect related terms.
That's fantastic. The key is to find what works best for you.
Yeah.
The book also mentions flashcards and spaced repetition software, which can be very effective.
Okay, feeling more confident about tackling that vocabulary beast. Now, on to something that often makes me cringe. Business writing. How do we avoid like those long rambling emails?
Conciseness.
Yeah.
That holy grail of business writing. And this is where the book offers some surprisingly insightful techniques. It goes beyond just the usual avoid jargon advice and really delves into sentence structure.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more. I'm always trying to tighten up my writing.
Well, one technique it highlights is using active voice. For example, instead of saying the report was reviewed by the team, you could say the team reviewed the report. Now, it sounds simple, but it makes a big difference in clarity and impact.
I see. It's like getting rid of all the unnecessary fluff.
Exactly. And the book also emphasizes parallelism, which means structuring your sentences or your lists with consistent grammatical patterns. That makes your writing much easier to follow and comprehend.
Okay, I might have to brush up on my grammar skills. But what about tone? How do we strike that right balance between formality and approachability?
That's where audience awareness comes in. The book stresses the importance of tailoring your tone to your recipient and the situation. An email to your CEO will naturally have a different tone than a message to a colleague that you work with closely.
Right. And even with colleagues, you might adjust your tone depending on the subject matter. Like you wouldn't use emojis when you're discussing a serious business issue.
Precisely. The book encourages practicing this adaptation. Try rewriting the same message in different tones and see how that changes the overall impact.
That's a really helpful exercise. It's like practicing different pitches for your voice.
Exactly. And remember, the goal is to convey your message clearly, professionally, and with the appropriate level of formality. It's a skill that develops with practice.
I'm ready to put those writing tips to good use. Now, let's tackle the part that often fills me with dread: verbal communication and presentations. Any advice for those of us who prefer to hide behind our keyboards?
I think we can all relate to that feeling. Public speaking, even in just a business setting, can be nerve-wracking. But the book does offer some valuable strategies. One that I found really interesting is the emphasis on active listening.
Active listening, I thought this was about speaking skills.
It's all connected. You see, effective communication it's a two-way street. Active listening helps you understand your audience's needs and perspectives, which then allows you to tailor your message for greater impact.
Ah, I see. It's like gathering intel before you launch into a presentation.
Exactly. And the book, it provides these specific techniques for active listening, like asking clarifying questions, summarizing the speaker's points to ensure that you understand, and then using those nonverbal cues to show engagement.
So it's not just about nodding politely, it's about demonstrating that you're really processing the information.
Precisely. And this active listening, it not only strengthens your communication skills, but it also helps you build trust and rapport, which are so essential in any business setting.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But what about those of us who just freeze up when we have to speak in front of a group? Does the book have any magic cures for stage fright?
No magic cures, but definitely some practical strategies. One that resonated with me is the idea of reframing nervousness as excitement. Instead of thinking, I'm so scared, try telling yourself, I'm excited to share this information.
Interesting. It's like tricking your brain into feeling more confident.
Exactly. And the book also emphasizes the importance of practice, which seems obvious, but is often overlooked. Rehearse your presentations multiple times, ideally in front of a trusted colleague who can give you honest feedback.
So it's about desensitizing yourself to the fear by repeatedly exposing yourself to the situation.
Precisely. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll become. And the book also suggests recording yourself. That way you can identify areas for improvement in your delivery, pacing, and body language.
That's a great idea. It's like watching game tape to analyze your performance.
Exactly. You can pick up on subtle nuances that you might not be aware of in the moment.
Okay. Feeling more empowered to conquer those presentation jitters.
Mm.
Now, onto a topic that's particularly relevant in today's globalized world, cross-cultural communication. I'm always a bit nervous about accidentally saying or doing something offensive when I'm interacting with people from different cultures.
It's definitely something we all need to be mindful of. And the book emphasizes that cultural sensitivity, it's not about memorizing a list of do's and don'ts for every country.
Phew, that's a relief. So what is the key to effective cross-cultural communication?
The book highlights the importance of developing a genuine curiosity about other cultures. It encourages reading books, watching films, and engaging in conversations with people from diverse backgrounds to really gain a deeper understanding of their perspectives.
So it's about cultivating this global mindset, not just memorizing facts about different countries.
Exactly, and this goes beyond just simple awareness. The book encourages seeking out opportunities to interact with people from different cultures.
Mhm.
This could be, through volunteering, attending cultural events, or even joining, online communities that have international members.
It's like immersing yourself in the global tapestry of experiences.
Precisely. The more you engage with different cultures, the more comfortable and confident you'll become in navigating those interactions.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We talked about specialized vocabulary, effective writing, verbal skills, and even cross-cultural communication. It's clear that mastering business English it's a multifaceted journey, but how do we approach this learning process in a practical way?
And that's where we'll pick up in the next part of our deep dive. We'll explore the book's strategies for actually leveling up your business English skills from specialized courses to online resources and even mentorship. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We're picking up where we left off, exploring how to actually improve your business English skills. So I'm ready for some of those actionable strategies.
Well, the book provides a whole toolkit. One approach it really emphasizes is structured learning, through specialized business English courses.
That makes sense, but are those courses really worth it? I mean, can't we just learn from free online resources?
You certainly can learn a lot online, but the book makes this argument that Courses provide something unique, that structured curriculum and expert guidance. Think of it like having a personal trainer for your language skills, right? They can assess your weaknesses, give you personalized feedback, and really keep you accountable.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I see the value in that. It's like having someone tailor a workout plan specifically for your language goals. But what about those of us who, prefer to learn at our own pace, maybe can't commit to a full course?
The book definitely acknowledges that and offers plenty of alternative strategies. One that stood out to me is leveraging those online resources, like
Hmm.
language learning apps. Have you ever tried Duolingo or uh, Babbel?
I've dabbled in Duolingo, but mostly for fun. Are those apps really effective for like professional communication?
They can be. While they might not replace a full course, they're great for, building vocabulary, practicing your grammar, and getting comfortable with that rhythm of the language. The book suggests using them as a supplement to other learning methods, like reading business publications or listening to podcasts.
Wait, so I can actually count like listening to this podcast as business English practice.
Absolutely. I mean, you're already immersing yourself in the language, expanding your vocabulary, and absorbing all these different business concepts.
This is amazing. Okay, what other digital resources does the book recommend?
Well, it highlights the wealth of online courses that are available on platforms like Coursera and Udemy. You can find courses specifically tailored to business English, covering everything from, writing effective emails to delivering killer presentations.
So much to explore. But how do we know which resources are actually good? I mean, there's so much out there. It can be overwhelming.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. The book emphasizes the importance of, reading reviews, checking the credentials of those instructors, and even previewing some of those course materials before you commit. And don't forget about the power of online communities, professional forums like LinkedIn groups. They can be invaluable for connecting with other professionals, asking questions, and just observing how people communicate in those real world settings.
It's like having this virtual network of business English mentors.
Exactly. And speaking of mentors, the book really highlights the value of finding someone who can guide you and provide that personalized feedback.
That sounds amazing. But how do we actually find a mentor who's willing to like invest their time in us?
It can take some effort, but it's worth it. The book suggests starting by reaching out to people you admire in your field or within your professional network. You could also attend some industry events or join online communities where you can connect with experienced professionals.
I'm starting to see a theme here. It's all about being proactive and putting yourself out there.
Exactly. And the beauty of mentorship is that it provides not only, that language support, but also, career guidance, industry insights, and just a valuable sounding board for your ideas.
Okay, I'm convinced that mentorship is a powerful tool, but let's be realistic. We all have busy lives. How can we fit business English practice into our, already packed schedules?
That's where the book's emphasis on integrating learning into your daily routine comes in. It suggests engaging with business-related media in English as much as possible.
Okay, that sounds manageable. But what does that actually look like? Like, should I be like reading the Wall Street Journal, like cover to cover every day?
Not necessarily. The key is to choose content that's relevant to you, your interests, and your field. Read industry publications, watch business news channels, listen to podcasts, anything that really exposes you to the language used in those real-world business contexts.
So it's about making learning a part of your daily life rather than this chore that you have to like squeeze in.
Exactly. And don't just passively consume the content. The book suggests taking notes, highlighting those key terms and even summarizing articles or podcast episodes in your own words. This active engagement really helps solidify your learning and improves your comprehension.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that's become increasingly relevant in, the modern workplace, remote work and virtual communication. How does business English like play into this new landscape?
That's a great question. And the book actually devotes an entire chapter to this topic. It emphasizes that while the fundamental principles of business English, they remain the same, there are There are unique nuances and challenges to communication in a virtual environment.
I can imagine. It's so easy for messages to like get lost in translation when you're not interacting face to face.
Exactly. And in the book, it highlights the importance of being extra clear and concise in your written communication because you don't have the benefit of those nonverbal cues like tone of voice or body language.
So those email writing tips that we discussed earlier, those become even more crucial in a remote work setting.
Absolutely. And it's not just about emails anymore. I mean, we're communicating through, instant messaging platforms, project management tools, collaborative documents, and even social media for professional purposes.
It's like a whole new world of digital communication channels to navigate.
It is. And the book stresses the importance of, adapting your communication style to each platform. What's appropriate for a formal email might not be suitable for a quick chat message.
So it's like we need to become masters of like code switching, but for digital platforms instead of languages.
Exactly. And the book provides, helpful tips for each communication channel from crafting effective subject lines for emails to using emojis appropriately in those instant messages.
Okay, so we need to be mindful of the platform and the context, but what about the actual content of our messages? Any tips for avoiding those awkward misunderstandings that can arise in virtual communication?
Well, the book emphasizes the importance of clarity, conciseness, and confirmation.
Confirmation. What does that mean in this context?
It means, taking that extra step to ensure that your message has actually been understood. This could involve summarizing those key points, asking for confirmation that the recipient understands, or even scheduling a quick follow-up call just to clarify any ambiguity.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like adding a layer of insurance to prevent those communication breakdowns.
Exactly. And it's particularly important when you're dealing with sensitive topics or complex information.
Now let's talk about a specific aspect of remote work that can be both, exciting and terrifying. Those virtual presentations. Any advice for making those online presentations like engaging and impactful?
The book dedicates an entire section to virtual presentations, acknowledging
Yeah.
that they require a different approach than traditional in-person presentations. One key tip it highlights is the importance of visuals.
Okay, that makes sense. I've definitely zoned out during presentations that were just like a wall of text on a screen.
It's all too easy to do. The book suggests using visuals strategically to break up that monotony, illustrate those key points, and keep your audience engaged. This could involve incorporating, images, videos, charts, or even interactive elements.
So it's like we need to think like graphic designers, even if we're not actually, designing the slides ourselves.
Exactly, and the book provides those practical tips for choosing effective visuals, using animation and transitions thoughtfully, and ensuring that your slides are visually appealing and easy to read on a screen.
That's really helpful, but visuals are only part of the equation. What about the actual delivery of the presentation? Any tips for captivating an audience through a screen?
The book emphasizes the importance of bringing energy and enthusiasm to those virtual presentations. Remember, you're competing with countless distractions on the other side of the screen, so you really need to project confidence, passion, and just a genuine desire to connect with your audience.
So it's like we need to turn up the charisma dial, even if we're just a talking head on a screen.
Exactly. And the book provides, specific techniques for doing this,
Mm.
from modulating your voice to using gestures and facial expressions effectively, even if only your, upper body is visible.
I'm starting to see that virtual presentations are a whole art form in themselves.
They are. And the book also highlights the importance of, practicing your delivery beforehand, just as you would with an in-person presentation. Record yourself, watch it back, and identify areas for improvement.
Okay, so practice makes perfect, even in the virtual world. But what about those pesky technical glitches that can just like derail a presentation? Any advice for handling those gracefully?
Well, the book acknowledges that technical difficulties are, they're kind of an inevitable part of virtual presentations. It emphasizes the importance of having a backup plan,
Right.
like a printed copy of your slides or a mobile hotspot in case your internet connection fails.
Okay, so it's all about being prepared for the worst, but what if something like goes wrong in the middle of the presentation? How do we recover smoothly?
The book suggests acknowledging the issue calmly, addressing it briefly if possible, and then just moving on. Don't dwell on the technical glitch or let it, throw you off your game. Your audience will be more forgiving than you think, as long as you handle it professionally.
That's reassuring. It's like those moments when a stand-up comedian forgets a joke. They just acknowledge it, laugh it off, and, and move on to the next bit.
Exactly. And the book provides, specific phrases and techniques for addressing those technical difficulties gracefully, so you don't have to like fumble for words in the moment.
Okay, I'm feeling more confident about conquering the virtual presentation arena, but let's not forget about another crucial aspect of business English that often gets overlooked. Networking. How has the digital age, transformed this essential skill?
It's a great question, and the book delves into those exciting possibilities and the unique challenges of networking in the digital age.
I'll admit I'm a bit old school when it comes to networking. I much prefer, those face-to-face interactions, but it seems like everything is moving online these days.
It's true that the landscape of networking has changed dramatically in recent years, but those fundamental principles, they remain the same. It's still about building relationships, connecting with those like-minded individuals, and expanding your professional circle.
Okay, so how do we translate those traditional networking skills to the online world?
The book emphasizes the importance of building a strong online presence. It
Yeah.
starts with, crafting a professional profile on platforms like LinkedIn, ensuring that your headshot is polished, your bio is compelling, and your experience and skills are accurately represented.
So it's like creating this digital resume that showcases our best selves.
Exactly. And it's not just about having a static profile. The book encourages, actively engaging on these platforms, joining those relevant groups, participating in discussions, and sharing valuable insights and content.
So it's about being a contributor, not just a consumer in online networking space.
Chris, and the book provides, specific strategies for doing this effectively,
Yeah.
from crafting, those engaging posts to participating in online events and webinars.
Okay, so we need to be, active and engaged on these professional platforms, but what about other social media channels like Twitter or Instagram? Are those relevant for business networking as well?
They can be. The book suggests that it depends on your industry and your goals. While LinkedIn is generally the go-to platform for professional networking, Twitter and Instagram can be valuable for building brand awareness, showcasing your expertise, and connecting with a wider audience.
So it's like choosing the right tool for the job.
Exactly. And the book, it provides helpful tips for using each platform effectively, from crafting, those compelling tweets to creating visually engaging Instagram stories.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from structured learning and online resources to virtual communication and digital networking. It's clear that business English in the digital age is a multifaceted and ever evolving skill set.
It is. But as we've discussed, those foundational principles of effective communication, they remain the same. It's all about, clarity, conciseness, cultural sensitivity, and authenticity, whether we're interacting face to face or through a screen.
And as we move into the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore how these principles can be applied to the future of work and the skills that'll be essential for success in the years to come. So stay tuned.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been on quite a journey exploring business English, from the very small details of vocabulary and grammar to, navigating this ever-evolving world of digital communication. So now let's shift our focus to the future. What does business English look like in the years to come? What skills are going to be essential for success?
It's a fascinating question, and the book touches upon some key trends that are already shaping the future of work. One of the most significant is of course the rapid advancement of technology. Right, right. Artificial intelligence, automation. It feels like the workplace is constantly evolving, and it can be hard to keep up.
It certainly can. But instead of fearing these changes, the book encourages us to embrace them. It argues that technology, when used strategically, can actually enhance our communication and our productivity.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but how do we avoid becoming obsolete in a world where machines are doing more and more of the work?
That's where the book's emphasis on those human-centric skills comes in. It argues that while technical skills are important, it's those uniquely human qualities that will really set us apart in the future workplace.
So what are some of these human-centric skills that we should be, focusing on?
Well, one that the book highlights is adaptability. That ability to learn quickly, to embrace new technologies, and adjust to those changing circumstances. That's going to be more crucial than ever.
I can see that. Yeah. It's not enough to just be good at what you do today. You need to be able to evolve and acquire, those new skills as the landscape shifts.
Exactly. And this adaptability, it goes beyond just those technical skills. It's also about being open to new ideas, willing to
Yeah.
challenge your assumptions, and and comfortable operating in ambiguity.
So it's like having a growth mindset, always seeking out those new challenges and opportunities to learn.
Precisely. The book also emphasizes the importance of critical thinking
Yeah.
in a world overflowing with information. It's essential to be able to evaluate those sources critically.
Yeah.
Discern fact from fiction and form your own informed opinions.
Right. It's not just about absorbing information passively. It's about actively engaging with it, questioning assumptions and thinking for yourself.
Exactly. And this critical thinking will be crucial not only for, making those sound business decisions, but also for navigating the ethical dilemmas that are likely to arise as technology becomes, more sophisticated.
Okay, so adaptability and critical thinking are key. What other human-centric skills does the book highlight?
One that might surprise you is emotional intelligence. As artificial intelligence and automation take over, more of those routine tasks, those human skills of empathy, communication, and collaboration, those will become even more valuable.
I can see that. Yeah. In a world where machines are doing more of that technical work, it's our ability to connect with and understand each other that'll truly make a difference.
Exactly. The book argues that emotional intelligence will be essential for building trust, fostering collaboration, resolving those conflicts constructively, and creating a positive and supportive work environment.
So it's like emotional intelligence becomes a superpower in a world that's increasingly dominated by technology.
In a way, yes. And the book, it offers, practical strategies for developing that emotional intelligence, like practicing active listening, being aware of your own emotions and how they impact others, and then seeking out feedback to understand how you're perceived.
Okay, so we need to be adaptable, critical thinkers, and emotionally intelligent. What other qualities are going to be, essential for success in the future workplace?
Well, the book emphasizes the importance uh, of cultural agility. As the world becomes increasingly interconnected, that ability to navigate those different cultures, communication styles, and perspectives, that's going to be, more crucial than ever.
That makes sense. Globalization isn't going away. Business is becoming more and more international.
Exactly. Cultural agility goes beyond just, simply being aware of cultural differences. It's about actively seeking out those diverse perspectives, embracing different ways of thinking and working and building bridges across cultures.
So it's about moving from like tolerance to genuine appreciation and understanding of different cultures.
Precisely. And the book offers, some practical tips for developing cultural agility, like traveling to different countries, immersing yourself in different cultures through books, films, and music, and even practicing mindfulness to become more aware of your own cultural biases.
It sounds like developing cultural agility is an ongoing journey, not a destination.
It is, and it's a journey that will enrich your life both personally and professionally. Now let's talk about a specific area that'll undoubtedly continue to evolve, and that's digital communication. What trends does the book foresee in this realm?
I'm eager to hear your thoughts. It feels like new technologies and platforms are emerging all the time.
They are, and the book predicts that this pace of innovation will only accelerate. It encourages us to embrace a mindset of continuous learning when it comes to digital communication.
So it's not enough to just master the technologies and the platforms that are popular today. We need to be, constantly learning and adapting to new ones as they emerge.
Exactly. And this learning will involve not only, those technical skills, but also an understanding of how digital communication is shaping, human interaction, business practices, and even societal norms.
It sounds like we need to become digital anthropologists studying the evolving culture of online communication.
In a way, yes. And the book, it provides guidance on how to do this effectively, from staying abreast of those emerging technologies to engaging in thoughtful discussions about those ethical implications of digital communication.
Okay, so we need to be, lifelong learners when it comes to digital communication. What other skills or mindsets are going to be essential for navigating the future of work?
The book emphasizes the importance of a global perspective. As the world becomes increasingly interconnected, it's crucial to view challenges and opportunities
Yeah.
through a global lens.
So it's about moving beyond our own local or national perspectives and embracing a broader, more interconnected view of the world.
Exactly. A global perspective enables us to understand those different cultures, to appreciate those diverse viewpoints, and to identify those opportunities for collaboration and innovation on a global scale.
It sounds like we need to develop this global mindset, seeing ourselves as citizens of the world, not just of a particular country or region.
Precisely. And the book, it offers some practical steps for cultivating this global mindset, from learning about different cultures to seeking out those opportunities to collaborate with people from around the world.
So it's about expanding our horizons and embracing the richness and the complexity of our interconnected world.
Exactly. And as we conclude our deep dive into business English, I think the key takeaway is that it's no longer just about mastering a set of language skills. It's about embracing a mindset of adaptability, cultural agility, global awareness, and a commitment to lifelong learning. By cultivating these qualities, we can not only thrive in that ever evolving world of business, but also contribute to a more connected, innovative, and prosperous future for all.
That's a powerful message. It's inspiring to think that by developing our business English skills, we're not only advancing our careers, but also contributing to a better world.
Absolutely. And I believe that by embracing those principles we've discussed today, we can all become more effective communicators, more insightful thinkers, and more compassionate global citizens.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of business English. We hope you found it insightful, engaging, and empowering. Remember, the future is not something that happens to us. It's something that we create. So embrace that journey, keep learning, and never stop, exploring the boundless possibilities of communication in the digital age.